Did you fix your lopsided boob?
I think I just sit like that. And I gotta sit like that.
We might just start the episode right there. And you, the people, tell us. Does Emily have lopsided boobs?
I feel like they're slightly lopsided. I should probably contact my doctor about that.
Because they're fake. You learned about that in season 1, episode 2. Speaking of episode 2, welcome.
It's episode 2.
Of season 2 of the Waft.
Yep.
And we're live from our house, in our office. It's really messy. But,
this is our first episode here.
Yeah.
The last one was in Mexico.
Yeah, because we said we were going to do these while we're on vacations or on remote locations because we don't want the animals disturbing us. But we just tired them out. So we're going to see how this goes. And if it goes well, you people asked for it. And by people, I mean like Hillary, Sandra, and maybe 3 or 4 others. We're going to try doing it weekly. Yeah. So for our 5 fans, this is for you. Yep. Check it out. We got a real microphone, people. And we got a new camera, so we look a little more clear.
We got a camera, a microphone, and a ring light. So we are basically professional podcasters.
Speaking of which, today's episode is sponsored by nobody. But if you would like to be a sponsor of the Waft, it'll cost you $1 whole. We're going to start there. So if you'd like to sponsor episode 3, go ahead, shoot me a DM. We'll go from there. Looking forward to seeing who's going to sponsor episode 3 for $1 whole. But first, episode 2. Mm-hmm. That's you. What are you excited about this week?
Oh, Pride.
There you go.
It is officially, it's been
Pride month.
And we believe that it should be Pride all year because it's just about inclusivity and love or whatever. But this is our official Pride rides are Saturday. So super excited. We've been talking about it all month in studio about Pride and how it's really about just like self-love and kind of showing up as you are and accepting yourself as you are, which Dwight is an expert at.
I'm really good at loving myself and everyone else, as our t-shirts say and our merchandise says, available only at Cycle Bar West Omaha. But yes, as Emily mentioned, I'm very good at loving myself, and she mentioned this during a class, during a team teach, maybe before the wedding, that I may or may not, on occasion, and by on occasion I mean a couple times a week, walk by the mirror and do a little stop-a-rooney, take a peek, take another peek, and go, I'd fuck me.
I tell him that he needs to, we always talk about like our secret sauce in class. And I was like, you need to figure out how to bottle up your I'd fuck me attitude and preach it to class because people need to learn from it. Like I've had so many conversations this month about like with women about like self-love and how we can be so self-deprecating and we fight so hard to try and like have this perfect body or whatever, look a certain way. And you look great, but you're by no means like perfect. Like
I'm an 8.3.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
You could, fix your diet and you could cut out the pizza and whatever and you would get a 6-pack, but you also don't give a fuck. And even though your body isn't perfect, you still look in the mirror daily and you're like, I'd fuck me. Whereas like if I eat a cookie, I'm like, oh my God, the world's over. Yeah.
So the lesson to be learned from episode 2 here is just have a little of that I'd fuck me attitude.
Yeah.
And see what happens. I challenged Emily with this once. We might have talked about it in season 1. I really don't remember. That was a long time ago. Start your day, or when you look in the mirror, like she said, a lot of females have this where they are self-deprecating and see something they don't like. So when you look in the mirror, instead of focusing on that thing or things you don't like, just find one thing, look at it and be like, yep, that's it.
And I think I would encourage people to not even make it a physical thing. Because I think we get so caught up in the physical. Like, literally my pet peeve is on Instagram when people post pictures and they're like, oh my God, girl, you look so good. Like, body goals. Like, yes, love the abs. I really want to be like, fuck off. Like, how about we focus on compliments that aren't physical? Because I think that, like, social media puts so much pressure on the physical, where it's like, what if we do compliments that are like, I love the way you make me feel, or I love the way you listen, or I love the way your energy like lights up the room. Like, what if we did compliments like that rather than physical compliments? But I also think that like sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. So maybe for me, like I would just look in the mirror and be like, I'd fuck me, and I may not even believe it, but maybe one of these days if I say it enough,
will it into existence.
Yeah, just be like, yeah, I feel myself. Even though I don't, I'm going to pretend like I do.
Yeah. Because right now, if you looked in the mirror, you'd be like, My boobs are lopsided.
Yeah.
If I looked, hey, you know what?
No.
And just to prove that I'm also human, I get it. Like, there are days where the first thing I might see, I might look in the mirror. Warning, look, you got 10 seconds if you want this to stay PG-13. 10 seconds. But sometimes I look in the mirror and I go, I got tiny nipples. Tiny nipples. But you know what?
Nipples is a totally separate podcast.
I move on from that,
Yeah.
and I go, you look good today, Dwight. I'd fuck me.
We are going to have nipples, the topic of nipples, be a full different podcast because I didn't realize that there were so many types of nipples until Dwight. Honestly, it might be the thing you're most insecure about is your tiny nipples.
No, I love my tiny.
Yeah, but constantly you're like, God, my nipples are tiny.
They are small. They're cute though. cute little nipples. Whatevs.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather you have cute little nipples than pepperoni nipples.
And if you have pepperoni nipples though, that's okay. You love it. You go with it.
Right.
That's another story.
Mm-hmm.
Another story.
Anyway, maybe this week, in the spirit of pride and loving yourself and everyone else, you start to adapt the I'd fuck me attitude, and when you look in the mirror in the morning, maybe name something, personality-wise, something you're good at, something
whatever
you love about
it is.
yourself, whatever it is, and be like, end with the like, yeah, I'd fuck me.
Yeah, if it's looks, go with looks. I know Emily just said don't focus on the looks, but
sometimes you gotta build yourself
yeah,
up.
we're just trying. We're bouncing from lily pad to lily pad here, like a bunch of little toads. I don't know what goes on in my head here, but yeah, just be a little toad.
Bouncing from lily pad to
lily pad, lily
with
pad.
your compliments.
Yeah, they're compliment lily pads.
Yeah.
That's what they are. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Maybe is lily pad. That's like a little kid's like learning center.
Yeah.
Maybe they will sponsor the podcast for
Episode
$1.
3, yeah.
Even though there's been a bunch of F-bombs in this, and we're talking about tiny nipples and
another
fucking
episode
ourselves,
will
but
probably be about how we don't want kids. But
yeah,
lily pad. If you want to
for episode 3,
us.
we got you. Yeah. So pride. Not only is it this month, but just all the time.
Yeah.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. Be inclusive.
And everyone else.
Yep.
Let's just kind of rapid fire here. We were driving.
All I see on his phone is sperm.
Yeah.
Sperm.
Here's the show.
I don't even know how this topic came up.
Oh, wait, come on, focus. Oh, come on. It says it says self-love, I'd fuck me, and then below it says sperm.
Yeah.
That's our notes here. Real professional. We got the camera, we got the microphone, and then
sperm.
Stuff like that.
I don't remember how it initially came up. I think I asked a question about sperm.
We were driving yesterday to this place in Tacoma that has the world's best cinnamon rolls.
And it really is.
They're really good.
Delicious.
Yes. But somehow sperm got brought up. And I know in season 1 we talked about, like, if you're ever down, just think about, like, you won something. You were one of the little spermies that made it.
Yes.
And, like, then we just went down this kind of spiral of the odds, what that takes. And
so because I think my question was, like, I wonder how many sperm are in each
load.
And so I Googled it, and shocking, you were guessing like 1,000, 100,000. In 1 millimeter of sperm, there is between 200
Millimeter or milliliter?
Millimeter, because it was like there's usually 1 teaspoon, which is 2 to 3 millimeters of load, and in each millimeter there's 200 to 500 million sperm, which is insane. Like, every time you shoot a load, there's like 5 million sperm.
I love the fact that our mom at least
it's
watches
biology.
this.
It's biology 101. And that blew my mind. And then it took it back to, like, out of those 5 million sperm, just in that one load, you were the sperm that made it.
You were the sperm
to swim.
That made it.
Lead the race and make it to the egg and then become a human. So, like, I feel like a fucking winner.
Yeah.
Like, I am that sperm. And then you took it even further because I'm not a guy, so.
So that's the lot. So let's just put it in terms of winning the lottery. It's nearly impossible.
Yeah.
But you won the lottery once by being that little sperm that made it to the egg and became you. But not only did you win the lottery once, you won the lottery twice, because for all the fellas watching, which might be 2, we know that there's when you're a little guy in your teens, you're not having sexual intercourse, so your pleasing yourself.
Or when you're married man owning a business.
So there are times when you are just wasting sperm, you could say. So taking it back here, there's all those times that our fathers loaded, as Emily said, and you weren't a part of those. So not only did you have to win the race, you had to win the lottery about being produced.
To be in that sexual experience that made the baby. Because there are so many times when you have shot a load and it's pointless. You know, like...
So there you go. You've won the lottery twice.
But that one time that your parents decided to like have, you know, to make a baby.
Sex.
Yeah, you were the one load that got it, and then you won the fucking race out of 500 million sperm. Like, honestly, we should just feel phenomenal every day because we're like, out of those odds, we're here.
Self-love right there.
Yeah.
Good job.
You need a confidence boost.
Take that right hand, go to the back, and give yourself a pat.
We're freaking winners, all of us.
We did it.
Yeah.
We did it. What are we at here? What kind of time? 11 minutes. That's all right. We can be short episodes. I have one other tidbit that I wrote down that I feel like I have a lot of random stories. And I don't know how this one popped in my head, but for entertainment. So I'm the youngest of 4 boys, that is. And for entertainment, when we would go to grocery stores or eating establishments, a fast food restaurant, if you will, I would go in the bathroom, and there's usually one urinal and maybe one stall, or one urinal and 2 stalls. And for whatever reason, little 9-year-old Dwight thought it was hilarious to go into the stalls, lock the door, and then crawl underneath. Mind you, how gross that is to crawl on the floor. But doing this so that way when someone had to come in there and take a dump, they couldn't get in. My one regret about this, I never stuck around to see someone's reaction that went in there just needing to go extra bad, but then couldn't get in. Like, someone had to crawl under that door to unlock it. Someone had to. And I never got to see the end result of this.
I think, honestly, this is the perfect segue into my blog that'll be going up this week about why I kept my name.
Thewaft.org. Emily's coming back with the weekly blog on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays if I'm feeling it. Some days, like this week I didn't publish on a Tuesday. I didn't feel like it was ready. But this week it's all about my non-name change because I just
on social
wanted
media,
to keep my name.
On social media, she's the only Harborn Coulter in the world. So
yes, legally though, breaking news, I am not Harborn Coulter. I kept my name, so.
Yeah, so that's check out the blog if you'd like to know more on that. That is episode 2 of season 2, and we're probably the number two pooping podcast that is in the Midwest. I know we were the number 1 poop podcast in the Midwest, but we took a little hiatus, so we gotta reclaim that throne, if you will.
Oh God, porcelain throne.
The porcelain throne. Dwight the Porcelain Punisher Coulter.
And Emily Harborn.
Not the Porcelain Punisher.
No. Us Harborns, we're classy people.
All right, there it is. So for the 6 people that watch this and the 2 people that were really itching for a new episode, you're welcome. And we look forward to checking the DMs to see who is going to be the $1 sponsor of episode 3 of The Waft. Until next time, peace out.
Cub Scouts.
Cub Scouts. Namaste.
Cub.